So we do have a quorum for today's meeting, and we are reviewing the bylaws. The first question was, can a non-member chair a committee? And I believe the intention was no, that there would, because the non-members can work on subcommittees, but they still would not be a voting member for any subcommittee or the overall council. So we would need somebody on the council to chair the subcommittee.
And you said that appears in, that was raised in Article 5?
That was Article 5, number 4.
Okay, so is there proposed language that we need to adjust or
So right now
clarify?
it says the chair of the council shall appoint a committee chair. The chair of each committee will serve as a designated liaison between the committee and the council. So I can add to that sentence under 5, number 4A, that it has to be a member, a council member. So the chair of the council shall appoint a committee chair who is a member.
Yeah,
That
Okay.
works.
Does everybody agree on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
The only other one would, if we put it under B, individuals who aren't members of the council may serve as committee members only, not chair, may not chair. I think,
Individuals who are not members of the advisory council may serve as committee members, but at least one member of each committee must be a member of the council.
Either way, let's just stick with the original under A. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, when I made the comment, I made it under B, but it doesn't have to be under B.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. All
Do
right.
we want to say that members of the committee members can serve? Hold on. Members of the public may serve on one or more committee, or leave that vague?
Chair of each committee must be a member and serve as. Okay, the chair of each committee must be a member and will serve as a designated liaison. Okay, thank you, Brian.
Sorry, Tara. I was just putting in an alternative, but I think the
Yeah.
first way works as well. But this is just a different way to say it in that
Okay.
in the same one. But
All right. So I changed it to 4A, the chair of the council shall appoint a committee chair who is a current member of the council in good standing. The chair of each committee will serve as a designated liaison between the committee and the council. Does everyone agree with that? Okay. I'm seeing all yeses. All right, fantastic. How will the committee report to the council after each meeting if there are no council meetings scheduled in that time frame? So it's just a question of how they would so we currently have each committee reporting out at council meetings at all when we meet as a whole council. Do we need to we're still under 5.4. Does everyone feel we need to clarify that further, that they would report out at council meetings?
Well, as committee meetings are held, there's an agenda that's posted. There's information in the public domain that it has to be posted under FOIA after a certain time frame.
Yep.
So
Every committee meeting is public. It would have an agenda and minutes and would be posted on our website.
Right, so it says, but in 4C, it says report to the council after each of their meetings. And so what happens
Okay,
if they're, that's where
Yeah.
that each of their meetings, if there is,
okay.
how do they report to if there is no meeting?
Um,
It could either be by meeting or by email, something like, just to clarify, how does it get reported after each of their meetings?
okay. Yes, we got the typo. Thank you, Sarah. Any suggestions for changes? Should we remove that? We'll report to the council.
Or
We'll report to the council at full council meetings, or any suggestions for wording there?
Well, you may want to leave it broad, Tara, because report to council could mean a variety of different things.
Okay,
So it could be determined by the committee what that means
okay.
based on context. So if you get too narrow, then
Mm-hmm.
you might hem yourself in.
You could add something after each of their meetings, either during a full full council meeting, or by email to the full council.
Thoughts, opinions?
I feel like email would still fall under the original language though. As a report. So
too.
it's I kind of agree with Kim, like let's not put ourselves into a corner. And I'm even thinking like notwithstanding, minutes and the recording will be available on the on the website. So I feel like any one of those would suffice.
Okay. So just leave it as is? Is that what I'm hearing?
That's my vote.
Okay. Everybody else agree?
Carol, do you feel otherwise, like that it's?
No, that's fine. I just wanted to clarify, because
Yeah,
if there's a meeting, if there's a information that comes out of those, yeah, anybody can go and watch the video. So I guess that's
Right.
I mean, we could, yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. It'll be fine.
Okay. So then the last was, did we want to add anything under this section for requiring participation of the full council to participate on at least one subcommittee? The suggestion was annually, or we can, get that further or not. I know that I will say a lot of the members from state agencies felt like that was a lot. It could be a lot for them depending on how often the subcommittees were planning to work, that with their schedules that might impede some like the other members from meeting if they but would all said who responded said that they would definitely try to participate where they can, but feeling that may be tough with their with the time that they have to offer.
Sorry,
So
how many people would that on the council would that leave remaining if we gave?
there are
leeway?
15 appointed members, and
From state agencies?
that is so the agencies are all the state agencies, like that's just where it's the commissioner or their designee.
Got
So
it.
there's 15 appointed members, and there are 10 state representatives.
Okay.
So for example, currently in the bylaws, it states that a quorum is only including appointed members. So we don't even need all of the state agencies to make a quorum, but we do need appointed members. So, again, I'm here to just facilitate this. So whatever you guys think.
Yeah, I'm in
Excellent.
favor of the language.
Of
I think
adding,
of adding a requirement. That was part of my a little bit overwhelming statement at our last council meeting, admonishing
Okay.
everybody and encouraging everyone to participate. I could be persuaded to with 15 people appointed or members appointed, and right now just 2 subcommittees. I think that's reasonable. If we had like, we could have, because how many people do we need to have on a subcommittee? Is there a quorum required for the subcommittee or no?
it would be just whoever's participate. I mean, if they were to vote on anything in the subcommittee,
Okay,
but then most likely anything that was requiring, a vote is going to come back to the full council anyway.
right.
So I don't know that you would need, we would need a quorum when we're doing official votes, for sure.
Okay.
So that's to conduct, full council business. We don't have that. We don't have that noted in the section for subcommittees and ad hoc meetings. So we can add that. Attendance is always taken, so we would know. But would you want to say at least one subcommittee annually, or because
Yeah,
again,
that would be the
sometimes
language I propose.
scheduling gets difficult, for everybody. So I would hate to make it too narrow, so that then, we're having to, because then at what point do we have to go out and go get another person appointed, because we've set
Right.
the, requirements that we now have to follow through with, and then what does that look like if a member is not participating?
What if we use the word should instead of must? Because then it sort of lightens the tone, but
Right.
yet sets the idea that we are asking for a bit of an obligation. But to your point, Tara, you don't have to be like accountability police.
Right.
Yeah.
I also just wondered, so what are folks' ideas about the target size of a subcommittee group? Because sometimes if a subcommittee is too large, that can be challenging. And then I think we've all had the experience on being on the subcommittee that's too small.
Mm-hmm.
What do we think is the range?
So, I mean, right now we have 15 appointed and we have 2 subcommittees. So you're looking at, pretty large subcommittees, with, if you're including appointed members, and then also any of the state agencies that would end up participating as well, state agency members that would end up participating or have an interest in that area. So, I mean, we have 25 members total of the council. So you're talking about 10 plus, if everybody is participating.
Yeah, I just wonder what people think about that in terms of like, if you were shooting for like 10 per committee, then it also gives flexibility, because I actually am on a state agency too. And so it gives that flexibility in terms of certainly wanting to be helpful and also faced with time constraints.
And also we've opened it up to allow, we do get a lot of interest from community members who would like to participate on the council. So, there is also, people who, and we've opened this up to allow community members to be active participant on subcommittees, and right now we only have 2. So to your point, Jennifer, this could get large quick if we do have a lot of interest in one, area, for example, so.
I guess my feeling is that these appointed seats are important. They're important. They're important for the guys that we work with. And there's language that's been added that says that you need to attend the committee meetings, and after a certain number of meetings that you don't attend, then people are going to look at that. And I just think, and when I said, I mean, if we only have 2 subcommittees and they're fully staffed, then we don't need to have anybody else. But I do think that, again, these are important seats, and if someone doesn't want to participate, because they're busy, whatever, I understand that, but I mean, there's a lot of work that needs to get done. That's just my feeling.
Kathy?
I'm also with the state agency, and I guess my opinion is, some of our agencies participate here with sort of a specific niche. So there's some subcommittees that I would not be helpful on, nor would there would be a reason for me to participate in, like housing. I know nothing about it. I have nothing to contribute, and I couldn't put the time in, of course. Now there's an employment one now. I'm BRS, that's mine right there, and I would of course participate, and I will. I'm not sure what language needs to be around that, but I'm sure my other state agency peers have this similar experience. A lot of times we get asked to serve on committees like this. I'm on a number of these across different programs where, I need to be the voice of one thing on the committee, and I need to be there for that. And I need to be ready to speak on it, but I can't do the things that are not related to my work. So maybe something around, participation as appropriate, as relevant to their expertise, or, something like that.
Yeah, when I made a suggestion of it, I said if needed, you know what I mean? So that was a little, but
Yeah.
Or,
I guess
we can
the
also
reason I
say,
take it like one step further is, even if housing really, really needed volunteers, I'm not going to be useful on that. So I'm something in the middle there.
I have to agree with Kathy. Even as an appointed member, there are certainly areas that I don't have expertise in. And I mean, I wouldn't necessarily want to voice an opinion on something either that I really don't have the credibility or credentials, I should say, not credit, but or expertise to add to. So I agree with you, Kathy, is my point.
We might also be able to put language in around, I mean, those of us who are serving on this committee, if there's something we're not doing that we need to do, I would hope somebody would say so, right? So like the attendance requirement, if one of us is not attending enough, I think there's chairs or someone who reaches out and says, look, are you in or are you not? Maybe it's the same. Maybe if, employment committee got arranged and I didn't sign up for it, I would hope one of the chairs or the chair of that committee would reach out to me and say, is there a reason you're not signing up for this? This is your agency's expertise. So maybe something around there, like comment of as needed or as appropriate.
The other thing is that now that we've done some restructuring and we are getting this back up and running for subcommittees, this is something that we can revisit because we can update the bylaws at any time. So that's also in the bylaws that they can be amended at any time, and go for vote. So we could leave this off for now and then reevaluate based on, the call to action at the last meeting and see how things go over the next, the course of the next 6 months or so, and reevaluate that. That's just another option I'm throwing out there.
As a fairly new person on this committee, I would be good with that, because I think I'm still just trying to figure out how the committee works and what is needed. So, it's hard for me to kind of weigh in just yet. And so for me, I'm just kind of like balancing both sides of this, being respectful of state agencies and their time, because I appreciate that they are on probably a lot of these committees in addition to their everyday work. And then as a member of this committee, I also have another full-time job. So, there's only so much time I know I can appropriately, dedicate to this, even though this is a very important topic to me. So trying to balance all of that is important.
Well,
we
and
want- Go ahead.
so I have a question too, as also kind of piggybacking on what Kim said, as someone who is also new. My question is the agency appointed, or is there a specific person within the agency appointed? I'm just curious to understand.
Sure. So per statute, it's the commissioner or their designee for all of the state agencies. So then I have, emails from and tracked, whether it's the commissioner who is serving, which we don't have any commissioners serving on the council right now, or their designee. So I have a designee who is identified for each agency.
Okay, and those designees, from what I'm hearing in this meeting, those designees are also serving on other committees.
Most likely, yeah.
Throughout the state.
Yeah, throughout the state, correct.
Okay.
And then there's 10 state agencies represented on the council. And so all of those 10 would have the commissioner designated somebody working to represent. And then there's 15 appointed members of the council, which went from, the legislators or the governor.
Okay. All right. That really helps. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And right now I only have letters officially for 9 of the 15. I'm waiting on the additional letters. So that's something that I'm working on the side, but trying to get those from the current House and or Senate person who's supposed to be, appointing those members. So.
Okay. All righty. Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I feel like I'm hearing, let's leave it out for now and reevaluate this later. Is that the consensus of the group?
I have another question then.
Okay,
So
yeah, go ahead.
after Jimna in the last meeting, really spoke to the group. Did you receive good feedback in terms of how well how many people agreed to be part of the two subcommittees, or do you have just numbers wise,
I don't have numbers specifically. I know that the housing subcommittee is working on scheduling another meeting, and then we did schedule a meeting for the training and education subcommittee for next week that I sent out today. So I feel like there is a little more participation that I've seen because people are filling out the surveys and being responsive. So I feel like anecdotally, yes. And I typically send that information out to the entire council just so anybody, I didn't want to narrow it too much to those who previously expressed interest in case somebody else decided they would like to participate. So I do always tend to send that out to the entire council. Should we do an official vote on whether to keep it or not? Or I saw a lot of head nods, so I'm assuming it's yes. Leave it off.
Could I ask you to just clarify what the two choices are?
So leaving it completely out as far as requiring participation on a subcommittee. So that's option one, is leave it off completely out of the bylaws for now. Reevaluate, we can always add it later. Or we add that appointed members should that was the suggestion. Appointed members should participate on at least one subcommittee annually.
If we really want to add something there, could we say something like are encouraged to?
Right.
Maybe. Because like Kathy, there's certain things I just don't have expertise in, and so then.
Well, and this
that-
would be appointed members. So you guys are technically not appointed members. You're the state designee. So it would be those 15 appointed members that we would be.
And I'll speak for an appointed member. I can't speak for everybody, but again, I feel similarly that I would not be able to offer much input if I had to attend all, or, you know, I was assigned to attend subcommittees that I really, I just don't have the time to be able to attend committees I don't have any input for. So
Right.
I feel that similarly to a lot of the people who are representing different agencies, that I think it would be difficult to have to attend.
I think, Tara, if the language was just softened a bit and changed must to should, and I personally could live with that. I don't mind, you know, adding something in there about you know, tapping into people's expertise or something, or appropriate to people's expertise. And that, you know, I think it could be understood that, you know, being a part of this advisory board is definitely a commitment you know you need to arrange for, but I think it's it needs to be understood what that looks like for everyone.
I'm good with should. Sorry, I didn't mean to make that rhyme.
Yeah, should or encourage sounds fine.
Yeah, I could, same, Patrick.
And I think with the new members, I think hopefully you'll see an increase in motivation.
Do we want to vote on should?
I can just say or encourage. So appointed members are encouraged to participate on at least one subcommittee. Everyone
vote
feel good with
yes.
that? Okay.
Yep.
All right, then I will add that as E.
Do we need to say appointed council members? Or
I'll
not
leave-
really?
I'll leave that up to you guys.
We'll leave it open. Kathy, you're nodding. Are you okay with that? Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I was
that's
on
fair.
mute. I can just say members, council
I think
members.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. And not clarify appointed or not appointed. Sorry, there's a hawk flying out back of my house and the back door is open, so the dog is going a little crazy right now. Okay, I got that. Added as E. Are encouraged to participate in one subcommittee. Okay. Any other questions on sections that have not been reviewed?
Under Article 1, without reading the statute, has that all been updated to reflect the duties?
It is.
Per statute? Okay, I just want to make sure that that was accurate.
That's accurate.
Okay.
Okay, I think I addressed all questions that I received typos, and we've had discussion on everything that I have. Anybody have anything else?
I don't see any reference to any required training, and I know you were putting together like kind of a toolkit for new members, for lack of a better word.
I left that off because
Okay.
I was thinking, in order to finish that, because I didn't have all of the historic information. So I was thinking that maybe that could be like an ad hoc meeting that
Okay.
the council, we could do that as a work group to put an orientation together for new members.
Okay.
And that was going to be my suggestion for that.
Yeah, and we can amend these bylaws anytime, so
Right.
I'm good
'Cause
with right
it
now.
doesn't need to be a standing
Yeah.
subcommittee, because once it's done, but
Right.
you know, as to orient somebody to the bylaws and the work that we're trying to accomplish if we do have new members, because we may, based on, you know, any kind of legislative appointments that come through. So,
All right.
anything else?
No, I don't see any hands raised. I appreciate everyone joining today in the.
Okay, so I just need to do an official vote then, for everyone in favor of the bylaws as amended, say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Any opposed? And any abstentions? Okay, the bylaws are officially passed. Thank you guys for taking the time out of your Friday, a glorious Friday. Finally, all the humidity is gone. Hopefully you can get out there and enjoy the weather a little bit this afternoon. But and that is all I have on the agenda. So with that, can I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll do it.
Thanks, Yana. In a second.
I second.
Thank you so much. All right, appreciate all of you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye.